Hello everybody, my name is Zul and welcome to my tutorial on getting Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Steam version working on Windows 7 in high definition. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the location of your Steam folder. Now for most people this is C, users, name, Steam, Steam apps, common. I have my Steam installation installed onto my D drive. So if we look here, it's D, Steam, Steam apps. Now, the Steam apps common is the important part. Once you're there, you're going to want to navigate your way down until you find SW Kotor, the folder. Open up that folder, and I'm just going to bring it over to the side here, scroll down, and you're going to want to look for swkotor.exe. If you don't see the .exe, don't worry, you're probably in the right place. You just probably have the file extensions hidden. To do that, you need to go over to your control panel. Control panel, appearance and personalization, folder options, view, and see this one right here? If I click apply, it's just SW Kotor. Now you want to uncheck this, hide extensions for known file types, and click apply. This is actually an incredibly useful thing, and you should just leave it like this anyway, because it will help you in knowing what you're running in the future. Anyway, now that we've done that, right-click on swkotor.exe, click Properties, go over to Compatibility. You're going to want to check this and get it to run with compatibility mode 4 Windows XP Service Pack 2. Click Apply, and leave this folder open because we will need it later. Now, if you're using the Steam version, open up Steam. Right-click on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, go to Properties, Updates, and do not automatically update this game. Alright, now that that's all dealt with, go over to the swconfig.exe in your Steam apps common swkotor folder. Open it up, and you're going to want to make sure your settings sort of match mine. You're going to want hardware mouse on. This is extremely important. The game will not work. It will trap your mouse within this resolution right here. Otherwise, it'll make the game unplayable. Uncheck VSync, and if you're having crashing issues, disable the movies. So you want your settings to match mine. You're going to click Apply and Close. Disabling movies will prevent crashes. You can try this once, leaving the movies on, and if you're having problems, come back, disable them, but don't worry about it right now. We're just going to leave them off. Knights of the Old Republic, like some games, actually runs better when it's in windowed mode for some people. This is games like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas that have programs and systems that actually make it so they run better in windowed mode. Now the problem is, you're going to have a border all along your screen and the taskbar still visible at the bottom, which is problematic for some people. So the solution for this is coming in the future. There's a program that can deal with it, but for now, we're just going to get it into windowed mode. So you're going to go to the swkotor.ini, and you're going to right click, and you're going to edit. If it asks you for a list of programs, use Notepad. You can also use Notepad++, but since most people, well, since everybody should have Notepad, that'll be fine. You're going to click, push Control F to search, and you're going to type in full screen. That'll take you down to your graphics options. This should be 1. That means that full screen is true. You want to set that to 0 so that it's false. Now, the width and height could be changed here, but that leads to a problem where the UI doesn't scale properly to the game. So, the game will now start in windowed mode once you set that to full screen and you click save. Let's continue on. Now your game should launch properly and run in windowed mode, but it still has the borders and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said before, there's a program that can deal with this. Go along to the Flawless Widescreen website. Now this is the site here. There'll be a link in the description. I might even put an annotation right here. Take you right to it. You go there, you click download, and you're going to want to download the Windows installer package if you're on Windows, which you probably should be if you're using Windows 7, which the fix is for. And you're going to download this setup extension. So right here, we got it. You're going to want to run, and you're going to want to install it. I'd like to install it onto my D drive, so I'm going to throw it over here in Utilities. Yes, that exists, and create a desktop icon, install. Once it's finished, it'll automatically launch the program. Now here's the term of service. You can read it if you want, see exactly what you're getting into. But you gotta wait and click I agree. And it'll play that music. So, be warned about that. And it'll ask you if you want to configure your settings. Click yes. I'd like it to start with Windows. Check for updates. You can go through this, see what's important. The important thing there is that I have it start with Windows because this program needs to be running while you're playing Knights of the Old Republic. So save changes. It'll, check your system, see what that you got there. Then you're going to go over to plugins. You're going to scroll down. You can see there's a lot of games that this works with. And you're going to want to find SW Kotor, Star Wars Kotor. Click on that, and it'll install the plugin. Plugin's installed. As you can see, my custom resolution for movies, 1920 by 1080, automatically detect. You want this all checked off, then you're going to want to minimize it. It'll minimize into your taskbar. If you want to exit it, you just right click and click exit. Okay, now that all that stuff's dealt with, you've put on hardware acceleration, you've installed the flawless widescreen tool, you've set in the ini file for it to be full screen equals to 0. We can launch the game. So, double click on this, what you need to do. My screen's flickering a little bit, it's sort of loading it up, and here we are. You see it's a little window here, and it's not doing the absolute greatest. But now if we go to options, graphics, screen resolution, there is a lot more options. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and we'll see 1920 by 1080p. If you okay on that, your screen will sort of struggle a little bit, and then so as you can see, the game is running at full 1920 1080p. If these resolutions don't show up, exit out of the game, rerun flawless widescreen, don't minimize it, don't close it, just make sure that it is open with the patch run. So, also, by the way, if you want, you can now go back to the SW config, you can turn on movies, you can change VSync, etc. You can do all that stuff and there'll be no problem. Just make sure that before you launch the game, rerun, so exit, and then rerun flawless widescreen. So, just to show you that this really does work, I'm gonna load a character that I have, who's on the Endar Spire. Okay, so here I am, and as you can see, the game is running perfectly fine. Now, I'm not getting the greatest FPS on Earth, but that's because I am doing some other stuff in the background of this game, and the game doesn't have the greatest FPS while recording. You may also notice these textures, which make the game look even more beautiful and are contributing to my horrible frame rate. I will show you how to install these HD textures in my next video in this series, but for now, have fun playing Knights of the Old Republic on Windows 7 in 1080p. Thank you, and goodbye.